Hello again, Tenno, and welcome back to another Frame of Lore video. I believe we're episode 2 now. Today we'll be looking at the Grineer. We'll look into who they are, what they do, and what impact they have on the Origin system as a whole. This video will contain spoilers for the game. I know it's been out a fair while, but I still like to give warnings just in case a new player wants to discover everything by themselves. So, consider yourselves warned, and with that, let's get into it. In the days of the Origin Empire, they bred clones for slave labour and to do all the menial tasks that the Origin didn't really want to do. We touched on this a little bit in the previous episode on the Origin. These clones would become known as the Grineer. The Grineer slaves were often used as manual labour, but all for the betterment of the Empire, of course. Though, when war came about with the Sentients, a faction for another day, the Origin quickly grew desperate. Instead of creating clones for slave labour, they instead created a new caste of clones. These were made from the genetics of someone who had killed a sentient. The Origin did, however, create them to be defective, likely so they posed no threat to their masters. These Grineer were then formed into a military and sent to fight against the Sentients, though it didn't really work, as the Sentients were able to quickly adapt to the Grineer and defeat them in combat. After this, the Tenno ended the war and started the collapse of the Origin Empire. The Grineer seized this opportunity to take territory for themselves. They took technology that once belonged to the Origin and started to fight back against what remained of their crumbling empire. During this time, the Grineer came across Origin twins that actually assisted them in their goal of fighting back against their former masters. Due to this bond they created, they adopted these twins as their queens, believing them to have a true understanding of each other's soul, which was something the Grineer strived to have. Over the years, the Grineer have only grown more defective due to invasive cloning procedures. They only have a fraction of a human lifespan and often suffer from decaying limbs and varying degrees of intelligence. However, these defects seem to have had a side effect, which breaks their original conditioning. This allows them to have more human traits. They could choose to follow their own path and not be loyal to the queens. Some have even shown to have a sense of dignity. The Grineer have also developed a form of crude cybernetics to replace parts of their broken bodies, and they really should not be underestimated. The first place we encounter Grineer in the Origin system is on Earth. We see that they are poisoning the world to make it more habitable for themselves. They've also made homes on the factory worlds of Ceres and Sedna, the underwater labs on Uranus, and the desert cities of Mars. They also have a hold of a spatial territory, such as that over Earth and Saturn. All in all, the Grineer have carved out a large piece of the Origin system for themselves. From what we see of the Grineer, they seem to be fully xenophobic and against anything not like them. They will kill on sight and show no mercy. The Grineer have also managed to develop their own form of weaponry, which is mass-produced and appears to be very crude in design. Though what they lack in aesthetics, they certainly make up for with firepower. The elite of the Grineer also have weapons capable of locking onto their targets. These weapons are handed to all Grineer Marines, whether they be from the Frontier Corps of Earth, the Arid Forces on Mars, or the elite Kuva Royal Guard Corps that defend the Queens. Not only do they have these weapons, they're also capable of making Fomorians. Fomorians are massive Grineer ships that are incredibly well defended, they have heavy armaments and armour, and are known to be able to take on fleets of ships single-handedly. Now, speaking of their queens, you might be wondering how the Origin twins have lasted this long and are still ruling over the Grineer. In the last video, we talked about how the Origin used a ritual called continuity to put their mind in a host body and live forever. Now, the Queens had no more Origin bodies to use for this, so instead, they've been using the bodies of Grineer to achieve their immortality, though these bodies are weak and short-lived, so they needed another solution. The Elder Queen seeks to use our character as the host body, though through some help from an ally, we stop it from happening and defeat the Elder Queen. Regardless of personal choice within this segment of the game, it does seem that the Elder Queen dies and the Worm Queen is the only remaining Grineer Queen. The Queens managed to stay hidden for a long time before this due to the Kuva Fortress. This is their mobile asteroid base that can move around the Origin system. It is quite a feat of engineering, with state-of-the-art Grineer defences, as well as Fomorian engines, which give the base the ability to stay on the move and away from detection. Another formidable Grineer enemy we should talk about is our own Kuva Lich. A Kuva Lich acts as a nemesis to our character, and are created when a candidate is infused with the Queen's Kuva, rendering them all but immortal. They have unique and powerful weapons, and elite troops to go along with them. The only way to defeat such an enemy is with a Parazon, which I'll go into in another video. Though we've talked a lot about the bad sides of the Grineer, there are also some good sides and good individuals that we should point out. First off, we have the Steel Meridian, which is made up of ex-Grineer Marines that are led by a Grineer defector named Cressor Tal, and seek to undermine the Grineer forces and defend the human colonies. Another Grineer friend is Clem. Whilst he may not say much, he's a proven ally of the Tenno and a very capable fighter. Lastly, we have to mention Carl 175, a Grineer who above all values his brothers and will do anything to defend them. So, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the Grineer and what they do and the part they play in our story. If you like the video, please leave a like, it really helps, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. But just the fact you have watched means a lot to me already. Stay safe out there, Tenno, and I will see you in the next one.